There's a huge inventory reduction sale going on right now at Carpets Unlimited and Crandall's Home Furnishings. Buy one and get the second furniture item 10% off. Third item 15% off. Fourth item 20% off. And at Carpets Unlimited Berber carpet $1.39 a square foot installed with pad. Saxony Stainmaster carpet $1.99 a square foot installed with pad. 18-inch ceramic tiles starting 89 cents a square foot. Laminate 99 cents a square foot. Come in today for the best selection. Crandall's Home Furnishings and Carpets Unlimited in Owensboro. See store for details.
Well, Jim, we got a district matchup in 5A. We got the Owensboro Red Devils going down to Hartford to play the Eagles of Ohio County. Owensboro's going to be in a foul mood when they arrive in Hartford. I don't think there's any doubt about that after what happened last week against Bowling Green. Ohio County, it is what it is, 24 straight losses. I mean,
yeah.
Do you see any way there's any surprise in this game?
No.
Okay.
In a word.
Yes.
I think that Owensboro will go down and refine some things in this game. This will be a game where they can work on some things that Coach Prince feels like that where they need work. And I think some of that, Scott, will be intangibles. I think that he wants to see this team play hard, play harder.
Yeah.
I think that that's part of what's going on over there. And I think they will.
Yeah.
I think that they'll rise up and play very hard. And no, this one should be over early. And hopefully again Ohio County can take something from it.
Yes, absolutely. I think the problem for Ohio County is, you want a team like Owensboro coming into you overlooking you when you're in Ohio County.
Yeah.
You want to catch them a little off guard. After what happened last week, I don't think there's any chance for anything like that to happen.
Tough scheduling.
Tough scheduling. Muhlenberg County goes down to Hawesville to play Hancock County. Muhlenberg comes in winless. Hancock looking like one of the better teams in our area at 4-1. How do you see this one kind of shaping up?
Well, I think that all arrows point to Hancock County in this game. They're playing with a lot of confidence. Boy, they played really well last week at Breck. That's a rivalry game,
yes.
And for them to lead 35-0 at intermission says that they were completely focused and in tune with what their coach wanted them to be. And I think that they'll be equally focused with this game. I really do. I think Hancock County is now believing what you and I are thinking in the office, and that is that they are one of our better teams.
Oh, I don't think there's any question.
And I think that when you get that. When you come to that realization, and maybe they just came to it by beating Breck this bad, because last year they lost to them.
Right.
So
right.
That's a confirmation, hey, we're different than last year, and I think it's going to carry them forward, and I look for them to take care of business here.
I do too, and this would be the classic, we were just talking about a look-ahead type game. Mm-hmm. This would be a classic look-ahead game, really, if Hancock was kind of in that mode. But I think they showed last week, granted the rivalry kind of skews that direction, so to speak.
Sure.
But I think Hancock is a really focused team, and I can see this one kind of being over fairly early.
Yeah, and I think Hancock's just a very good team,
very
too.
Good.
I think that they've proved that. I think that they are one of our best.
Webster County goes to Calhoun to play McLean County. McLean County winless. Webster 2-3. They haven't beat anybody of great note. Mm-hmm. Is this a chance for the Cougars to get that first win?
I would say probably not. It's a chance. I think it's a chance for them to be competitive. Let me say it like that, because
which they need.
They need that.
They need that badly.
They need that very badly, and I think that's what can be said about this game. I think that I'm really impressed with the way they have gone about their business this year, Scott. I mentioned that earlier, but I really am impressed with the way McLean has gone about their business, despite all the setbacks, adversities and setbacks they've had. And yes, this is not an overwhelming team they're playing, Webster County, but they do have 2 wins. That tells me they know how to win.
Right.
They know what it takes to win. That would be the disadvantage for McLean County in this game. But nonetheless, I think that it's the type of talent that they can compete against.
Well, Webster's coming off a huge loss to Crenton, and you just never know how huge losses affects a team. It can either just demoralize them, or it can get them that much more focused.
Yeah.
So that's the unknown going into this. But I agree with you. I think McLean has to take a huge amount of just real focus into it, just simply knowing
Agree.
that there is a real possibility we can come out of this with a win if we play our best.
That's right.
I mean, they're going to have to play well.
They're going to have to play well. They would have to play their best game of the year to win this game, but that's not to say that that's impossible. This is a team that continues to work hard and strive hard, and sometimes it just clicks.
Yes.
It just clicks for you.
Yeah. Let's talk about a couple mid-season report, so to speak, things here right now. Good or bad, who's been your most surprising team to this point?
Well, I think that from the good standpoint, for me, it's Owensboro Catholic, because they were 3-8 last year, and they're already 4-1 through 5 games. Now, they've got some new personnel in some of their spots, and I understand that. But what I'm most impressed with on them, Scott, is I think that they've had a complete turnaround with regard to their mental approach, their mental toughness. They showed it against Apollo when things weren't going well. That was, to me, a great test for them, and they passed it. On the bad side, as far as, maybe the surprising team that way, I would say, for me, up to this point, it's probably Apollo. And it's probably Apollo because I had more belief in this team than what I've seen so far. I mean, I just thought that they were going to be better than they are so far. Now, granted, a win over Marshall could turn them in that direction, as I told you.
There's no question. My surprise team, it is not a huge surprise, but it's Hancock. Because if you'll remember, going into the season, I was huge on Catholic. I thought this was going to be a really good Catholic team, so that's not a surprise to me. Hancock, they lost Josh Newton, they lost a few other players. Wasn't sure how that mix was going to go, and they've really impressed me.
Yeah, they've impressed me
The bad, you could say Apollo, and I'm not saying I disagree with that. I'm just so disappointed in Muhlenberg. I just thought Muhlenberg was going to be another step in their development. And if anything, you just have to say, if anything, they've probably stepped back.
Fallen back so far, yeah.
Yes,
I agree.
I think so.
I agree.
Any individual player who's just come out of nowhere that you weren't expecting this year and is really, giving it every week?
Yeah, there is. It's Daviess Crite for Daviess County. And, to me, Scott, the story of Daviess Crite, to me, is what makes high school football what it is, because you didn't expect it. He didn't start at the beginning of the season, and then they insert him, and he does real well, and he's done very well really since then. And he's meant a lot to their offense. And I really do believe we've got a star in the making here. He's just a sophomore. I love the way he throws the ball. He's a left-hander. He reminds me. I mentioned this to Mark Mathis in the office yesterday. He reminds me of a young Timmy Wimsett, and that's a really high compliment.
Oh, absolutely.
In saying that, because Wimsett had just really an extraordinary high school career. So I think that Daviess County fans have a lot to look forward to with Crite as their field general.
Yeah, my guy, I'm going to go with Dylan Hubbard on this. Hancock County fullback. They had so many weapons coming back, you weren't even sure who was going to do what or, anything like that. Dylan Hubbard wasn't a kid that you heard his name a lot coming through the ranks. And here he's averaging 117 yards a game on really minimal amounts of carries. He's averaging almost 9 yards a carry. Now, they've got a lot of weapons. I understand that. But I really like what Dylan Hubbard's doing for them.
Yeah, and you mentioned Josh Newton earlier. And see, Dylan Hubbard stepping in has really offset that.
Yes.
And that's one reason Hancock's where they're at.
Yeah. Well, we will talk about specific players and kind of look ahead to awards next week. But let's get to our picks right now. Henderson County at Daviess.
I'm going to go with Henderson County in this game. I think Daviess can be competitive in it, but I'm going to go with the Colonels.
I agree. Marshall at Apollo.
Toughest pick of the week for me.
No question.
I really think that without question it was the hardest. And I'm going to go with Apollo. I guess it's that deep-seated belief that this is a better team than they've shown, but I'm going to go with them.
I go with Apollo, but boy, it's tough to pick a team that's having so much trouble scoring. Henry at Catholic.
Well, I'm going to go with Catholic. Catholic proved to me last week that even in adversity, even in bad times, they can rise up and shine. And in so doing, I think that I would have to pick them over Henry County, even though Henry County is a very good team.
Right. I don't think there's any question we're picking OHS over Ohio. We're picking Hancock over Muhlenberg. What about Webster at Calhoun? Well, can McLean County do it?
Well, they can. They'd have to play their best game of the year, and Webster, I think, would have to have a little bit of an off night. That can happen, though, but I'm going to pick Webster.
Okay. Yeah. I'm going to agree with you on that one. Well, you never know. We'll see how it goes Friday night.
That's why it's so fun.
We really appreciate you watching. Check out Friday's Messenger-Inquirer. Mark Mathis has a feature on Daviess Crite, who you were talking about, Daviess County quarterback. And we're looking ahead more in depth at the Marshall County coming into Apollo game. That's the one that I think really could have a big effect on the potential postseason matchup.
I agree with that.
So until Monday at 2 o'clock, I hope you can make it out to the field this weekend. But if not, we'll be back Monday at 2 o'clock to wrap up all the action. Until then, thanks for watching.